tech shamans. We understand cause we are the tech shamans. Dude, I got this cool thing to show you. Really, man? Yeah, it's far out and technical and stuff. Awesome. Yeah. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the tech shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the tech shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the tech shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the tech shamans. Cool.
Hey everybody, good morning. It's John, and I've got Anthony also. He's waiting over on the Zoom line. Welcome to Tech Shamans. This is episode 062. And today's show is 61. See, the stuff that puts in my ear.
You had one job.
God.
You had one job.
Today's show is brought to you by Call 7. Communicate with Vision. If you need video, wow, I am tired. If you need your phone system, and I mean down from an entrepreneur to a full-on bore call center, telemed stuff, these are the guys for you. Call 7, they're out of Newport Richey, but they service everywhere. They're awesome. They actually take care of our phones inside. Maybe I should have him write me a copy instead of me just doing this off the cuff. But anyway, call7.com. Go see him, ask for Larry or Lawrence, or you can even talk to Dylan. That's my kid over there. He's over there helping know Larry out. So anyway, good morning. How you doing, Ant?
I am absolutely recovering from the weekend.
Yeah, you work hard?
Yeah, I did something really big on Saturday. We got a couple of big loads of dirt in from the neighbor who was putting in a pool.
Nice.
And so he brought over a bunch of fill for us. So I was out leveling fill on Saturday. Wow.
Hey, were you wearing a mask outside?
No.
I just wondered.
You know where I live.
Hey, do you wear your mask when you drive?
There are no humans around here.
Do you wear your mask when you drive?
On occasion.
Why?
If I'm between stores, I don't bother handling it again. Okay, in order to take it on and put it back on again.
You just impressed me, attaboy. You mean you don't have disposable throwaway gloves?
No. Well, I do. I have hundreds of them, but I never seem to remember to bring those with me. So I have some hand sanitizer in the car.
That's what someone else said. They're like, I have all that stuff, but I forgot it. So
yeah.
I'm like, well, that's good. That's good you have it, man, because, having it.
No, the mask stays in the car.
Yeah.
We really need like bodysuits.
Well, you have horses, so you should have those. Got to clear blockages.
No, the gloves?
Yeah.
Oh, now you're talking. There we go. We did back when we were doing the AI.
Yeah, see?
So, yeah.
Well, that's good.
Meanwhile,
back on the farm.
Talk, is it?
So anyway, so we're gonna let's jump right out of the gate. We actually have some really good stories today. And we watched the launch this morning from the TV, but it happened yesterday. So Air Force's mysterious X-37B space plane successfully launched to space on its 6th mission. It was on Sunday at 9:14 in the morning. I watched it on the TV, on the telly.
Oh, you still have one of those things, huh? Cool.
I still have cable because a lot of our clients that we produce stuff for, I've got to make sure that the run times are right.
Yep.
It's not that we've sold them their media, but we make sure, because I've caught stations not putting it on when they were supposed to put it on, and I've caught the stations that for somehow, some way, they've converted what we sent them, even though we sent them what they told us they wanted, and when they convert it, it either gets jittery or it doesn't play right. So we have to call up and go, "What is your issue? What is your mental breakdown?"
We're not paying for that week.
Nope, we're not. And that's why I'm saying I watch my clients run. So anyway, so the Air Force. So this is for Space Force. Right, the one that went up, and it's the little, I call it the micro shuttle. is really what it looks like. Little bobby wings.
Well, it's a space plane. Yeah.
Right.
What else is it going to look like?
So the last time it was up, it was almost I think 2 years.
Yeah, it went up for a long time.
Yeah,
just
2
long enough
years.
for everybody to forget about it.
Right, and now it's back up again. And
Although it says this is its 6th mission.
Yeah, right.
So
I mean,
but
to
still,
me, it's super cool. So, just saying.
Yeah. And I mean, it's just being used to spy on us, and
it's not used to spy on us. Stop it.
It's like counting how many rolls of toilet paper you bought.
Well, that it probably is. I can't say it's
there
not.
You go. Yeah, it's taking body temperatures from orbit.
Exactly. Anally, you're getting anally probed when you don't know it. Oh, wait a minute. That's
it's alien technology.
That's a different show. Sorry.
There we go.
But anyway, so it's very cool, man. It's like, and it's just it's doing its thing that it's supposed to do because we don't know what it's really doing. So,
so how do we know if we're actually spending money to do something useful?
Oh, come on now. NASA doesn't do anything not useful.
Really? We aren't going to go there right now, okay? But this is not NASA.
It is NASA.
NASA's handling the launches and stuff, but this is a military vehicle. Okay? If it were NASA,
it's a NASA mission for Space Force.
It is a Space Force mission utilizing the resources of NASA.
That's correct.
Okay? And so, therefore, we don't actually know what it's for, what it's supposed to be doing, or if it's supposed to be doing anything at all. All we know is that we're spending billions of dollars to send this thing up so that it comes back and says, we did it.
Hey, look, you know what? You have to practice before you put people in it.
No, you don't. No.
I won't. I don't.
I
just let you know. I was putting this out. I will not ever volunteer for the first mission ever of anything.
We have 50 years of practice. Okay.
But not on this machine.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm really waiting for them to bring back the space shuttles, or space shuttle like that. To me, that makes more sense.
Well, I really don't mind what Musk is working on.
No.
The big silver 1950s spaceship.
Yeah.
I mean, straight out of the Forbidden Planet.
Yep.
Oh my God, it is so classic. It is gorgeous.
Just got to get it up there.
Stainless steel. I mean, it is awesome.
I thought it was titanium.
And then it does a complete VTL landing and just comes down just like the one in a freaking movie.
It's
what could be better?
Well, I mean, aren't we there now? Can't we do that? Right?
Well, he can. And he's going to do it from a new factory, I hear. We'll talk about that one later.
Yeah. He's getting ready to launch this later this week too for more satellites, and then I guess they're going to put blinders or shields because I guess the astronomers are having hard times. They're getting in the way or whatever, or something like that. Like you didn't know that was going to happen already when you put thousands and thousands and thousands of freaking little mini satellites all around the world. They're going to get in the way. You're not going to see that beautiful sky anymore. You're going to see a bunch of crap moving around going, oh, there's junk, and there's junk, and there's junk, and there's junk, and there's junk.
Hey, I mean, I remember like the first time I went outside and I saw a satellite going across the sky, and I was just mystified by it. Now it's like go outside and if it's clear, just watch.
Yeah,
there they are.
Well, and especially Elon Musk because those are they're in strings. The ones up there right now because they're not all positioned yet, so they're like a big train going across the sky. Crazy! I can't wait. When we get on top of the mountain, we're actually leaving for Tennessee this week. And the one thing I am going to do is I am going to take a camera so I can do a nighttime shot because that high up in Lookout Mountain, there's no pollution,
no light pollution,
right? Nope. So that way I can actually see cool stuff.
No, we took the kids up to Tennessee once and they were just mystified because they're like, where did all these stars come from? How come they have more stars in Tennessee?
Yeah, exactly. So
and because in Florida, I mean, it's like, oh look, we get the usual 14, on a clear night, and It has nothing to do with light pollution. It has to do with the humidity.
Right.
That's our big bugaboo.
Yeah.
There's so much crap in the air, and I mean it's natural crap.
Yeah.
It's just water.
I know, Rob, our
blocks the ability to see.
Our technician in the back and our editor guy, Rob goes out and he does photography. He does really cool stuff. Actually, he has this little thing that makes pictures, and he does sparkle things. But he also does
called a camera.
Yeah, he does manual. I mean, he does space, and he does the moons and stuff. His shots turn out to be freaking fantastic.
Yeah.
So,
I tell you what, I made a discovery. I used to have a really high-powered telescope.
Yeah.
And I found out that I could just stick my iPhone on the eyepiece. And it took amazing photos of the moon.
Really?
I got phenomenal shots. Yes.
So you have your camera with a telescope, or the telescope itself, and then you put your...
I set it up, aim it at the moon, focus it, and then I just put my phone eyepiece, or the camera lens, where your eye goes on the telescope, and bam.
Wow.
The photos were breathtaking.
I can't believe someone... Okay, so that being said, I can't believe that someone's not made has not made a mount that goes in the back of it to hold the phone.
Oh, I think they have. And I just did it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Now I want to go get a telescope.
I mean, the hard part about that is getting the phone exactly lined up.
Right.
So the mount can be a little bit of a problem. But honestly, I mean, it was fantastic. I got some great moon shots.
That's cool.
Have his profile pics, I think. Yeah.
That's super cool.
And that was like 10 years ago.
Now, see,
so imagine what you can get now with an iPhone 11 Pro.
And you know what's kind of funny is a lot of these people, a lot of like myself, a lot of people that have gone, I really forgot about space and blah blah blah. It's really cool. It's this whole thing with Elon Musk and Space Force. As much as you want to make fun of it, I don't care. But it's gotten people re-energized into getting back into that space world.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we stopped. Okay,
that's Obama's
the 90s,
fault.
The early aughts.
I'm not trying to be mean, but Obama mothballed our freaking space, our whole space program.
Yeah.
Those shuttles still had life in them, and why they didn't keep them, that just really bothers me. We as Americans, we couldn't stand up and say, "Hell no, you're not going to do that."
I love the fact that Elon Musk stood up and said, "Hell no, you're not going to do that."
Right.
And
we're going to get there.
And said, I'll do it myself.
We're going to get there. So, so the next thing you're going to talk about, which is, I'm glad you're talking about this because I love this world. It's a secondary world for WeBeam TV. Who should not start a podcast?
Yeah, this was a great article I came across, and I've seen a lot of them like this. Mostly it's like trying to pitch you on starting one, which actually this page that we're on here, they're actually pitching, to get you to, learn their system and stuff for podcasting. But they give three great categories, and I think they're important. Number one, if you think you're going to make money on your podcast, oh, no. There is almost no way to actually monetize a podcast until you have enough listeners, followers, that people are paying you to mention their products.
Right.
And that is really, you got to be in the, tens of thousands of downloads in order to get anybody's attention or to make anything more than, do this, and I'll give you a free desk chair in a year, that kind of thing.
Yeah. And then people go, well, how do you get all those downloads? I don't know how you're marketing it.
Yeah. Well, and that is a big point. But so getting in there to make money is definitely not the way that you enjoy your podcasting life.
This is not the way.
You'll be nothing but frustrated for a very long time.
Right.
I'll get around to the counterpoint to that in a little bit.
Right.
People who think it's easy. Oh yeah, this is a really good one. You can tell the people who think it's easy because if you ever find their podcasts, they suck. Yeah. And the sound is awful. There is no editing. They're just going to, I'm talking into my cell phone, and I'm going to go ahead and talk today about some stuff. And, here's my audio, and it's great. And, oh, wait, that's my dog barking. Hold on, I got to go let him out. This is not what people tune in for.
Nope.
If you have a podcast, don't do it because you think it's easy. It is not easy. It is it is a responsibility. When you decide to create a podcast,
Yep.
you have a responsibility to anybody who might click to actually deliver something useful.
That's right.
And I was watching a homemade video today of a friend of mine in England, and it's got a marionette,
Right.
and it is not really high quality. It's all music. There's no voice, and it's a marionette, and the lighting is okay, and the I mean, come on, it's a marionette. You're picking them up by the strings. But honestly, the quality of the story is what helps you get past the little technical foibles. Keeping people involved.
Oh, wait a minute. Let's
story.
Let's stop real quick. So it's a
Go
video, not an audio. Right?
I just lost the audio for just a second. Say again.
Okay, so it's a video, not audio.
Yeah. This was video.
Okay, so but so let's not get off. Okay, let's
telling the story. No, I'm not.
Yeah,
okay.
But
the point is the quality of what you're doing and telling and saying
right
is important. If you have an audio problem though, okay, if you've got like I just did, where I just lost your audio for a second.
Right.
Okay. When you only have the audio medium to deal with, then you have got to pay so much attention to what you're doing, because if you don't enunciate every word correctly, they can't read your lips.
That's
You're
right.
going to lose them. Okay. This video could pull it off. It had no voice at all.
But most people aren't doing video podcasts. They're doing audio podcasts.
Correct. And the last thing in there is doing it because you are following the trend. Okay, it's like, oh my God, everybody's podcasting. I should podcast too.
Well, okay,
it's really
so
important that I podcast because everybody has a podcast.
So that takes me back to the very thing. So that takes me to back, like, okay, so for a while there, everybody, I got to grow my influence. My influence is so important. Okay, right. So not everybody's an influencer. So someone's got to be the person that goes, you're not an influencer, nor should you be an influencer.
Well,
and then there's like
metrics with influence,
right? And then you go, well, I've got to write a book. No, you don't need to write a book. Everybody, it's amazing the way they tell you to build your influence is: number 1, write a book; number 2, become a speaker; number 3, have a podcast; number 4, have a show, a TV show like ours, like this show right here, right? And no, not everybody should be an influencer. Not everybody should write a book, and not everybody should have a podcast. I'm just saying.
Absolutely. I mean, and it also depends on your voice.
Right.
I'm sorry, but there are people out there who should never be allowed in front of a microphone
or a camera.
If you remember the movie Singing in the Rain, I mean, that's what really brought it out. There's when they go from silent movies to talkies, and one of the leading actresses of the time
has got a voice like this.
And it's like, oh my God.
So
she's silent film, so nobody cared.
It's funny you say that.
Silent.
Because there's a on my Twitter feed comes this girl, and she's known for her provocative blah blah blahs, and because I follow other people, her crap follows through. And you look at her and you're like, wow, absolutely amazing young lady, right?
Yep.
And then she did a commercial, and you're like, well, that just ruined it for me, because to listen to her talk. And to listen how she said things and how you're like, nope. So it's amazing how a voice can ruin the perception of a person.
It can. And, the thing is, when you're doing these things, you've got to make sure. I mean, I write and produce an audio drama as a podcast. And the level of directing that goes in is like, nope, stop. You mumble those words. Nope, stop. Go back. Do that again. We can't do that. We can't do that. We can't do that. And it is a ton of effort in order to make sure that the things that are said are understandable.
Right.
And so Doing it just because everybody else is doing it doesn't mean you are right for this medium. And it may be that you have a great idea for a podcast and it should be done and you've got great content and you've got all this, but maybe you don't need to be the host if you don't have the voice for it. I mean, if you've been doing stuff for a long time and you got a voice like this and you're going to grade on, oh my God, you're going to destroy people. Yep. Okay, they just will not be able to stand it to listen to you. They're going to be able to, watch you as that angry guy on FaceTube for 30 seconds. But there's no way you're going to be able to make a podcast like this. You've got to have a set of pipes that actually do the right thing. Now, let's flip this around. Who should do a podcast?
Yep.
Okay. And look, there are three things here that I think are really important. And I'm going to start with the most important one. And I can't stress this one enough. And this is, you should do a podcast if you are a person who has a message that can be told 1,000 different ways.
Right.
That is vital. So if you have a subject matter that you want to talk about that changes every day or every week because there's new things happening in that field, maybe you should have a podcast.
Right.
Where you can talk about those changes. If you like to tell stories, I mean, look at Mike Rowe. Is that his last name? Mike.
Okay.
I mean, his podcasts are fantastic. He's storytelling, and it's absolutely awesome podcasting. He's got a great voice. They do great editing, and he tells great stories.
Right.
So he's actually telling stories. Now they're all on topic. But that's really important that you have to be able to tell your story 1,000. Don't go out there with like, oh, I got an idea for 8 episodes.
Right.
Okay. That's a waste.
Yep.
Okay. You got to come out, especially if you're doing this for any kind of business, promotion, current events, anything that's really important to you. You have got to be able to come out and plan on being on air for 10 years.
Yep.
Okay. Plan on having enough content ahead of you that you can talk 500 episodes.
Right.
That's crucial.
Yep.
Now, the second thing I have, which you're going to appreciate, is people can afford decent equipment.
Right.
Why is that important? Well, we already talked about, it's not easy.
Right.
You've got to have good sounding audio.
Right.
And you not only have to have good sounding audio on the front end, you've got to be able to edit it on the back end. So part of your equipment is software.
Yep.
If you are not going to hire the editing out, then it is absolutely crucial that you get great software and you use it. Now, there are free examples out there like Audible and Audacity. Sorry. Audacity is a nifty little piece of software. It's kind of hard to work with. It's free and it's worth it.
It's not hard to work with.
If you're going to try and do anything really complicated. If you're going to have sound effects, music, and maybe 2 people, forget it.
Okay.
Audacity can't handle it.
Right.
It falls apart. Okay. Oddly enough, we do our podcast. We use video software.
I use Audition.
Because, okay.
That's
and
Premiere.
That is pretty.
That's Adobe.
From the Adobe line, and that's great. I had been using Vegas, originally built by Sony, for years for all my video work. And it never dawned on me until I saw somebody else who's using it for their podcast. It is so over-engineered in order to be able to handle 4K video.
Right.
But I can run 12 channels deep on the audio, and it doesn't even bat an eye.
Yep.
And so, having the right equipment can make a huge difference.
Right.
And being able to edit stuff in and out is absolutely vital because you got to get your flubs out of it.
Right.
Nobody wants to hear them. It's not about setting up a mic and just going for an hour.
Well, okay. So on that website, I'm going to have Rob show you. So I'm going to run through some stuff real quick.
Ahead.
So they tell you to use that Sennheiser PC8 USB. It's a headset and a mic. It's junk. I mean, it's good for what it does, but it's not good for what we do. We don't ever use USB mics. It just doesn't work. Then you can now they have this Samson here. It's USB XLR. It's both, but me personally, let me see. Then they have the Blue Yeti. I see this everywhere. It's not bad.
No, it's a good starter mic.
It is a good starter mic.
And if your content is good, it'll be good enough.
Right, exactly.
But you got to have some damn good content.
Right, and then there's the Rode Podcaster mic. Now, this one's not bad. It's a ribbon mic, kind of. It's kind of a ribbon mic, I should say. Right?
Can you explain what a ribbon mic is?
A ribbon mic, it's instead of a condenser, which has there's a piece inside there that vibrates. And what happens is the condensers have a tendency to run really high. So if you have a low voice, it will crush. It'll just go, but it'll make you sound like you have a higher voice. A ribbon mic is what I'm using right in front of me, which is not that. This cardioid dynamic. It's more of a ribbon mic. It allows for true vocal sound. So everything works. The diaphragm allows you to. It works in a certain way. So it'll pick up highs. It'll pick up lows. It'll pick up mids. Right. It's super clean. Now the only thing about these mics is you can use these mics right into a mixer, but you've got to crank your gain up because they're not punchy. So you have to get out what they call a cloud lifter is what we use. And the cloud lifter opens the mic up and gives you more dynamic range. So you get more out of the mic. But if anybody has a question, go text Shamans at webeamtv.com and I will be glad to send you some information on microphones.
No, when we started ours, I just kind of went at it blind. I picked up, a 4-channel mixer. I got 4 microphones, spit shield stands, the whole 9 yards.
Yep.
And I just installed all that here at my home studio, and that's where we would record. And now, when I do voiceover work and everything, I've got one of the microphones turned around and tipped down, just like you have yours in front of you, and that's what I use.
Right.
But it goes through the mixer and comes out. And so this is, my whole setup was under $1,000.
Right.
Okay. And that includes software.
Right.
And so, it can.
Well, you already had your software.
Oh, yeah. I had that long before I met you.
Right.
Okay. Years before I met you, I had all this stuff put together. But I think, and that brings up another important aspect, which was the other thing I'm getting here, and that is you really need to take the time to produce your show properly.
Right.
Unless you are doing current events where you are discussing today's headlines because you're doing a news broadcast of some sort, and that's when you don't do it alone. That's when you have help. That's when you've got somebody on a mixer. That's where you've got a Rob in the back room who's handling our editing right now, handling our audio. He's going to deal with stuff to make sure everything is right as I'm going through it.
Well, yeah, because
that's crucial.
Right. We're not running just raw audio. All of our audio goes through a compressor gate. It's EQ'd correctly. So we're not worried about
so that we end up with a decent
Mickey Mouse
program.
Yeah, and that's why we can do it. And that's the difference between everybody else and us. We do this stuff live. And live, you have to have you have to have someone in the back that knows what they're doing when it comes to the video and the audio.
Exactly.
But anyway, I got
one more tip.
Yep.
I got one more tip. Okay. And that is if you are not doing, a live program like that or something that's almost live.
Right.
Where you're uploading it, an hour later after you finish your editing, quick editing and you're done. The important thing for you is to get way the hell ahead.
Yep.
I'm not talking, I'm 2 or 3 weeks ahead. You are at least 8 to 10 weeks ahead before you launch your podcast.
Yep.
Because one of the first things that happens when you launch a podcast, people are like, wow, that's really good. I want to binge listen. Oh, there's only one episode. Never mind.
Yep.
And by next week, they've forgotten about you.
Yep.
But if you have 8 to 10 episodes in the pipeline the moment you load it, that gives you now 2 months to get another 3, 4, 5, 6 episodes out there in order to complete your season.
And we try to tell people
so you
that
got to be way ahead.
Yeah, we have one brand new show, and man, you talking about Utah? Okay, so and even the professionals, even we have issues. So I have a client, and I feel really bad. I had to actually, matter of fact, I rebated them money because I felt bad. We've had 2 shows in a row that we've had pure technical difficulties. Well, one where the owner of the building cut everybody's cables that were in the building because they're redoing actually 3 suites up front of the plaza. And for some reason, and I don't know why, and I think it's just because it was old, but back in the day, they ran all the cables through one, and then they came in one entry point in the building, and then went all the way down. They would go through the firewalls, which is illegal. So the guy was trying to fix it, but he should have called. It's just like when you dig, you call first. So anyway, cut everything off. Well,
in your case, yeah.
And then they
first and then ask.
Right. So they came in the next day, and they energized everything back up. But because you energize things back up, or you have a spike goes through, especially through the internet. Well, we didn't have our machines off, and it scrambled. It scrambled one port, one of the ports on the computers that was a Zoom machine, and it's still jacked up. We heard him. We heard him come in. We heard him in our ears. We saw him on the. They heard him, on my other Zoomers heard him, but his voice did not get recorded. So I think I have a module in that board, our soundboard, that may be kind of acting up because everything was on like it was supposed to be, and it didn't come through. So again, I've been plagued, but that kind of stuff happens. I'm not perfect in a whole 9 yards, but
which is why it's really important to be way ahead.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So that was where I was going.
Reliability is enormously valuable in that world. I mean, look, if Mandalorian's final episode was delayed because they hadn't gotten around to it yet, okay. I mean, I guess I don't know. It may work for George R.R. Martin. Okay,
right.
Yeah, I'm really not around to that. I'm still working on it. That's fine. But you aren't him,
right? And
he's already rich.
Well, Walking Dead did that. They're this season, this final. Well, not but the final episode never aired because COVID shut it down because they had not gotten the final the special effects done yet.
Oh my God!
And most people think that those seasons are done way ahead of. They're not. Yeah. I mean, they're filming and they're probably about 30 days for each one. Yeah. To get it done right. So they got caught with their britches down. So, but anyway, So that's where I was going. So this one show. She goes, "Well, I've already done 3. Why can't we put it on iTunes?" I'm like, "Because you've only got 3." Well, what do you do? I'm like, I'd like to wait till you have 4 or 8. That's our number because if someone likes it and they start binging, they're going to blow. And within 5 hours, you're done. They're not going to, and then they want more. So,
I know that's where, do it when you can because your numbers will be significantly higher. We just released all in bulk on one. Right. And they shot as the number 1 search result. Right. Okay. As a result of that on iTunes, if you search one keyword, bang, they were the number 1 result. Right. Because all 8 episodes. And that's what
we've started WeBeam WeBeam podcast and we're taking our time launching the site because I don't want to do it when people don't have enough podcasts up there. I mean, I know when we put some of our shows up, I can go back 2 years, so I'm all right. But some of our shows are brand new, and they're not working. So, all right, let's jump on. Let's get off a podcast. If you want to do a podcast with us, if you want to learn podcast, reach out to us, techshamans@webeamtv.com. Anthony and I will definitely be glad to sit down with you and go through the angst of doing it. It is overwhelming in the beginning. People think, oh, I just got to all I need is a laptop and a mic. No, you need more than that. So just bottom line, you need more. Yeah. And one last thing is if you're going to do it, you better do it. Because the minute you lose the trust of the people at home listening or watching, you're gone. You'll never get them back. Did Anthony freeze?
Yeah.
And what a pustus freeze on. That is too funny. So in the meantime, I'm going to jump on to the Senate passes surveillance bill without ban on web history snooping. Big Brother is one. So, the Senate has voted on to authorize the USA Freedom Act, bringing the surveillance bill closer to becoming law. This is going to suck.
Yeah. Yeah, this is scary right off the get-go.
God have mercy.
I mean, being able to look at your browsing history. I mean, I wish Adam were here to talk about, how you get rid of a browsing history. But, no matter what it is, you take off your computer at home. Okay. Right. So you go ahead and use an anonymous search on Google. You open up, a private window. You do all that. That's great. But, between you and the internet, there is an internet service provider who
that's
keeps
capturing everything you do.
Single website you look at, every word you type, it's all passing through their servers, and unfortunately, and it can be tapped into just like a wiretap.
Well,
and
Snowden proved
exactly what you're doing.
So, yeah, it is scary, So, and here's the thing: you can sit there and open up a private browser, which is on Safari. You can do an incognito window on Google, or a private, whatever on. It's not. Yep. Your computer still logs that crap. So if you don't want to, if you don't ever want to be, if you don't ever want your history, then you better make sure you go in there and clean it out. Because I mean,
you got to do more than that. I mean, honestly, you have to have a dedicated device.
Yep. Okay,
that you only do stuff like that with, and you only do it from Starbucks or Panera's, or you're going out and you're logging into public Wi-Fi's. Okay, and that's all you're doing. You're going to Publix. Publix has great Wi-Fi, by the way.
Yeah.
Because nobody could get signals in their stores, so they put Wi-Fi through their stores. It was great.
I liked it. I go in there because that's just, while I'm looking at coupons and stuff like that while we're.
Exactly.
I take pictures of it if I've got one. Then I make them scan my phone.
Exactly. Safe paper. Thank you.
Yep.
But unless you're going to go to those links and have a disposable device, okay, that you can burn if you feel like it, that's the only way to erase that.
Yeah,
it's not going to happen any other way.
Staying in the computer world, Apple supplier TSMC confirms it's going to build a chip plant in Arizona. I'm happy about this.
You bet. I want as many chips made, as many parts of everything made right here.
Right, which is to me,
I do not want to be held hostage.
Yep. Because Taiwan's where all that most of the stuff comes out of anyway. Taiwan and China.
China?
I know. China who? Wait.
Nothing about it.
Yeah.
I thought that was dishes.
When I read that, I'm like, oh, this is going to be freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is good.
Apple. It's not only just Apple that uses them. It's NVIDIA and Huawei is also clients. So that means that our video cards, all the stuff is in. Well, most of it it will be here in the States.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, that's, I mean, and the more of the core structure we make here.
Right.
Honestly, think about what that's going to do to the trade imbalance.
Right.
Okay. The trade deficit is just going to evaporate. And when that evaporates, sure, we don't need to float so many bond sales. Okay, because we're not sending all that money out of country. We have our own bonds. We can buy our own bonds because we have our own income. Whoa, neat concept.
How about that? So this next one here is Anthony's been kind of tickling it all morning long. Elon Musk's battle to reopen Tesla's Fremont plant may shape his legacy. I think it's going to shape a lot more than his legacy. It's going to shape the whole way that we listen and do what the government says when it's not an order. And I'm trying not to become attorney wise here, but there is a difference between passing a law and passing an order. You can order me to do anything, but constitutionally, Thanks for letting me know that you're cared about my safety, but I don't have to listen to that. We have, and I talked to 2 constitutional lawyers here in Tampa Bay, and we were talking about the pastor over, and we'll get back to Elon real quick because this all feeds into the same thing. We talked about that pastor that got arrested for having services in his church, and then all of a sudden you hear, oh, well, the state of Florida is going to be so kind, and they're just not going to press charges, and it won't go any further. Well, they know it wouldn't go any further because it was unconstitutional. It has to, before all that, these orders that can be put in place on us, there has to be a martial law declared.
Yeah.
And then those orders become.
Or you have to have it made into a law.
Right.
An order is just an order. And now there are ways around that. Okay. If you do not, comply with an order and something about your non-compliance or the way you respond to the officers when they come out and tell you to to comply,
right,
that can get you arrested. That's just like having the Obamacare fines, okay, for not having insurance.
Right.
Oh, there was no criminal offense there. That was a civil penalty.
That's right.
But if you didn't pay your civil penalty, that was then a criminal offense.
Right. Well, what you do is you pay everything that they pay, and then your lawyer goes back and sues the living bejesus out of them, and you win. So
if you have it,
right.
If you have it, that's great. But if you don't have it, then they go ahead and throw you in jail for not paying your fine.
And then when you sue, that's where you win. But Elon, I love the fact that they were going to make him he's like, all right, arrest me. Go ahead. I'm opening up all the other car dealers. See why he didn't get bundled into the other car manufacturers that could open. I don't understand that because he's a car
California.
Well, I know.
California overrode it.
Right.
There are no other car manufacturers in California.
Right.
This was a California deal, not a federal, nothing at all. This was 100% California. And what he's done is said, look, I've got people who want to make money. They want to come back to work. Those who don't want to come back to work don't have to.
Right.
But I can't afford to keep paying them anymore. So either I lay all of them off, or those who want to come back and get paid can do so.
Right.
There you go.
Well, so on the same story, Panasonic, which is in Tesla's Nevada Gigafactory, they're going back to work, but not in New York, but they are in Nevada.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, and I mean, and sure, he's talking about building a new plant and pulling out of California.
I think that would be the smartest thing he ever did.
I think for some, he doesn't have any profit on that company yet.
Right.
So his business taxes are going to be nil. So for him, it hasn't made much difference. But as he's moving forward with this thing,
right,
he needs to be planning down the road.
Well, okay. So if he moves to Nevada or Texas, so I think he's looking more for Texas for the car side. He will actually make profit then because he pays so much taxes and so much crap in California that I can see why he's not making any money.
Well, and I mean, look at his employees. Okay, I mean, the average employee there is making $97,000 a year. They're paying serious jack in state income taxes.
That's almost poverty level in California.
A ton more money,
right?
Moving.
Yep.
Yeah. Makes sense to me.
Yeah, I would do it. So if I was him, but good for him standing up to the man. Standing up to the man. I'm trying to jump around here real quick because I know we're running out of time quick. Did you see that Microsoft said they were wrong about open source? Now they're going to embrace it.
Wow.
How about
40
that?
Years.
Yeah. Yeah.
It depends on the function.
Right.
Okay. And some things are much better that way. I mean, I look at WordPress.
Yeah,
it is a brilliant open source platform.
That's my biggest.
It is phenomenal.
Yeah, that and Linux, right? Linux is big open source.
Yep. And so you look at those things, you go, gee, I mean, why not use the hive mind? And it is democratized technology, is what it is. And you can only hire so many brains,
right?
And there are so many out there that are motivated to do it themselves. in exchange for a $5 donation tab on their site.
Right.
And you get some plugins and platforms out there that are just amazing. And you can go ahead and say, you know what, this is worth it.
Right.
I'm going to give you $50. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
And there's nothing stopping us from rewarding excellent work.
Microsoft's biggest thing has always been, once they touch something, they want it. It's got to be their intellectual property.
Of course.
Yeah, and that's what's held them back more than anything.
And that has been a holdover from their starting days when they, I mean, think about it. Okay, the guy they bought DOS from.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that was an intellectual property deal. They paid him what, $50,000,
something like that, something cheap.
And then Gates turned around and resold it for $100,000 plus 2%,
right,
or something like that. And that was it. But it was all about intellectual property and owning it and charging for it, and so it was in their genes,
right? Well,
to only do that.
So you get Gates, right? And I'm not trying to be nasty, but he's done well for himself, and he knows what he's doing. It's kind of funny. I saw this post that says Gates back in the 70s, 80s. Hey, let's make computers and put viruses in them, and make everybody pay for it. And then now it's like, hey, here's a coronavirus. Let's put the virus in there and make everybody pay for the cure. So I'm just, I just find that kind of funny. So let me.
You know what? But I'm going to say it again. Okay, I'm actually streaming from a 286 because it is the last computer I'll ever need.
Really?
Yeah.
You think so?
286 you're seeing me on. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what's wrong.
Well, yeah. There you go. That's why I keep dropping out. But I don't need.
I was going to say I kind of wouldn't be saying that right now. So I'm just saying. So let's do something fun. Okay, so we talked about this on Nerd Talk. Ubisoft is now giving out its Assassin's Creed educational tours of Greece and Egypt for free. I think this is absolutely cool as hell. So if you're a kid and you want to see what Egypt looked like back in the day and Greece looked like back in the day, here it is. It is super cool.
I need to look at that because I have my own opinions about Egypt. And
I know, but this rate, okay. So get past your opinions. I'm gonna tell you, like I tell everybody else that goes in and tries to see a Superman or a Spider-Man or whatever. Let go of the crap that's in your head and just go enjoy the show. All right, it's just
if they're trying to claim it's educational, though, okay, it's not okay.
Why?
To put things that don't belong in there.
Well, I don't think they would have put something there. It's not like you're going to see a jet ski coming down the Nile.
No, but you may see slaves building a pyramid, and that is complete crap. It never happened.
Well, but until hey, I know what you're talking about. But until mainstream history says you just got to put in there whatever's in there, it is what it is. I know. I agree with you. I am not disagreeing with you. You need to understand it.
History says something else.
I know. And it's kind of funny. Every day it seems like we get brand new blockbuster history breaking. Hey, this never happened. And once that all starts hitting mainstream, that'll be freaking awesome.
So is Pluto a planet again or not?
It's always going to be, in my mind, Pluto will always be a planet or a stupid dog at Disney.
Yeah, but in your mind is someplace I never want to be. So
hey, sometimes my mind's pretty cool. I got news for you, buddy. So Nintendo announces this is all good. Then this is in our world. This Nintendo announces more SNES and NES games for the Switch, which is freaking cool as hell because I have a Switch. I love my Switch, and I love the fact that I can easily go from console. I can put it on my screen and play, or I can go handheld and play. But my wife really gets mad when I'm trying to handheld and play and drive the RV at the same time. I keep asking for a pop-down big screen TV that's right there on my Switch so I can play the TV, but she's like, no. I don't know why. It would be fun.
I'm not getting it. Maybe just, reflect it up off the windshield.
Ooh, like, heads-up display.
A heads-up display.
That would work. I don't.
Yep.
Yeah. See.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be a little distracted. Not a lot. No more than these people texting and FaceTiming while they're freaking driving their cars. Just saying.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I mean, it ain't good making eye contact with the camera when you're driving.
Okay, so for all you horny little dudes out there that watch us, or you old horny dudes, whatever, we found this morning. We just find this is funny because we were talking about, me and Rob were talking about, the way they're doing this. So the OnePlus 8 Pro has accidentally X-ray vision filter that sees through plastic and clothes. It's not actually right. It's infrared's what it really is. So you really don't see through it like you would think you would, but because of the infrared side of it, you can kind of see what's behind the guts. I would like to see what it does in front of clothing, just for ha-has. Yeah, so Rob said the material has to be super thin. And if it's super thin, you're already seeing through it anyway.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
That is interesting. I would want to read up more on that one because I mean,
Right.
yeah.
Well, Rob and I were talking. What would be really cool is that actually someone came up with an app that cost a shitload of money, so not everybody could go and buy it. And so say, when people are walking through security checkpoints and all of a sudden they go off, I've got metal in my knee. All right, let's see. You put your phone down. Yep, you have metal in your knee. You're good. Or is it a big Glock that's sitting down there? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Give it time. Someone will.
Yeah.
X-ray
Well,
to do X-rays is
meantime,
really
we
not
have-
that big a deal.
We have the metal detector wands and we have pat downs. So if you've got
I love the pat downs. Every time I volunteer, and I always pick me the biggest dude and go, I want you to pat me down. And then they go, nope.
Never mind. Send him through.
He likes it. Mikey likes it. So, but anyway, I just thought that was kind of cool that, they've gone that far. I have a question for you, Mr. Anthony. How do you buy refurbished gadgets?
How do you
know that the stuff's going to work?
Yeah.
It's the odds but the odds are in your favor. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about refurbished because I have been burned heavily.
There's a difference between open box and refurbished. Okay?
Right.
And honestly, I've had a lot more luck with refurbished than I have with open box.
Really?
Too many times the open box stuff should be refurbished, but they just didn't say. I mean, they dropped it, they broke it, they did something, they fried it, they
It's
plugged it
just
into
an
220
open
outlet,
box, right?
But it's an open box special,
Right.
So yeah, those can be problems. Honestly, one of the best places to get refurbished stuff is eBay, because eBay puts a guarantee on it.
That's true.
And
I wouldn't have thought of that.
Like,
yeah, you're right.
doesn't work.
Yeah.
Boom, done.
eBay, yeah. Huh.
Yeah. They will guarantee the stuff. And if somebody puts out too much crap, guess what? They're gone. The
Right.
free market's dealing with them.
Well, yeah, because
And
eBay only
I'm all
wants
about
to.
that.
Yeah, eBay only wants to refund so much money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not in the business of giving money back.
Nope. And I've seen them struggle. I mean, I've seen them refund, and the other people, they can't get the money from other people, so they're eating it.
Yeah.
So.
Yep, that's happened, but that's how eBay, maintains its reputation as a safe place to shop.
Right.
They had to do that because there was so much crap going on. I mean, before they did all this, my God, my wife bought a dress, a custom-made dress, It was like, I don't know, it was like $500 or $700 we paid, and it never showed up.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Well, that sucks.
And this was before eBay had any guarantees, anything. And this woman's like, yeah, I got sick, and I just stopped doing them. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Oh, gee.
Yeah, at like $600 a piece.
Yeah. Well, nope.
Yeah.
I'd be like coming after somebody. I know that.
Yeah.
I know. I also use PayPal to buy stuff through, even though I don't like PayPal. But PayPal warranties. If I have a problem with it, I go back to PayPal and want my money back. They immediately put a claim in. They pull the burden from that person, and at least it makes that person on the other side get back to what they were supposed to be doing.
Own it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
one of the last two things is Facebook is buying Giphy and integrating it with Instagram.
Wow.
So
Facebook is buying something.
Yeah, how about that? Well, I mean, I see. I was under the impression that Facebook already owned them.
Isn't it pronounced Jiffy?
No, it's Giphy. It's not peanut
Isn't
butter.
it peanut butter?
No. Nope.
Oh, just a thought.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they're just as usual, and anything even remotely decent, they're just going to buy it and
Right.
slap it into their product lineup.
Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about today is the new Star Trek series based on the USS Enterprise that's heading to CBS All Access. This is the one with Pike.
Captain Pike.
Captain Pike and Spock.
Oh, this is going to be darn good.
I hope so.
Okay. I mean, I loved Discovery. Okay.
Yes.
I mean, I thought it was freaking fantastic.
Yep.
And the more we got to see of Pike and what he was like and where he was headed in the future, because we all kind of know.
Right.
You know?
The only Pike that we know.
Beautifully.
Yeah, the only Pike that we know from the original series is the Pike in the Box.
Yeah, Pike and Pike. Yeah.
And that's exactly what he sounds like right
we
there.
Actually see, where it's.
You keep that 286, buddy. I'm just saying. Oh my.
There we go. I'm back.
There you go. You keep that 286. Keep that 286.
Yeah,
I'd put it on.
286 again.
I would keep it and put it on the shelf. That's what I'd do. That's just me. But anyway, so
no, I'm excited about the Pike thing.
I am too.
Which is
I am
where
too.
I left. That's going to be good because obviously it's going to be from the same people who brought us Discovery. So I bet it's going to be just as damn good.
And you notice that they and there's two pictures that I saw out there about it, and the one girl they got when it's just got some big bosoms, and I think that's what I'm like. Well,
that's number one.
There you go. Yep. I don't know if it's number one or no. I think Spock is always going to be science officer. So
no, number one was her name.
Oh, number one.
That is all they referred to her in that episode of Classic Trek was number one.
Oh, okay.
That's where it came from.
All right. Well,
and that was actually played by Majel Barrett. Played Nurse Chapel and also became Gene Roddenberry's wife.
There you go. So we're out of time. If everybody, just make sure you like, share, tell everybody about us, and we will see you. Oh, actually, we will not see you next Monday because it is Memorial Day weekend, and so we'll see you in 2 weeks. Everybody have a great Memorial Day weekend and be safe and be fun and wash your hands. See you.
Shamans, we understand cause we are the tech shamans. Dude, I got this cool thing to show you. Really, man? Yeah, it's far out and technical and stuff. Awesome. Yeah. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the tech shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the tech shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the tech shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the tech shamans. Cool.